Currently, the world's most expensive drug is pharma company CSL Behring's drug Hemgenix. Approved by the US in November last year, the drug, which is used to treat a rare blood clotting disease, cost $3.5 million or over 28 crores. Another expensive drug is Zolgensma by pharma company Novartis. It was approved in the US in 2019. The drug is used to treat a rare and serious disease, spinal muscular atrophy or SMA in children up to 2 years of age, which causes muscle wasting and progressive loss of movement. The drug costs over 2 million or around 17 crores. Other drugs with hefty price tags include Zokinvy to help treat the extremely rare condition of fast-paced aging, Soliris for blood disorders, Trikafta for cystic fibrosis, amongst others. So why are these drugs so expensive? Let's take two of these drugs, Hemgenix and Zolgensma, to understand this better. Both these drugs are gene therapy or called precision medicine drugs. The conditions which they treat are caused by defects in the gene and the drugs aim to rectify it. Hemgenix, for example, treats hemophilia B, which is a condition caused by a gene defect that prevents the body from producing the required protein factor IX, which helps in clotting of the blood. That means even a small wound can result in continuous blood flow. Zolgensma treats patients who have a defect in a gene known as SMN1, which helps the body make a protein essential for normal functioning of nerves that control the muscle movements. A severe form of SMA means difficulty feeding, swallowing and breathing, with a death in 9 out of 10 patients before the age of 2 if left untreated. Both these drugs, Hemgenix and Zolgensma, are revolutionary when it comes to treat these conditions. For example, 1 dose of Hemgenix is said to have reduced bleeding by 54% in patients. Zolgensma too is administered only once and based on its results till now is on its way to possibly become a standard of care. There has been strong criticism on the prices of these drugs, with the pharma industry being called greedy. Pharma companies say the high cost of the drug is to justify the cost of innovation. Today, it takes over $2.5 billion and sometimes more than a decade to create a new drug. And only 14 out of 100 drugs in research eventually get the regulator's nod. Also, if the diseases are rare, then the economic burden of the innovation, companies say, has to reflect in the price. Hemophilia B, for example, currently affects 1 in 40,000 people, and it is estimated 1 in 10 to 11,000 children are born with SMA. Many a times, the treatment is condensed down to 1 dose versus a lifetime of treatment. Hence, the cost of 1 dose is then much less than the lifelong treatment. For example, the lifelong treatment of hemophilia B without Hemgenix is estimated to be anywhere between $21 to $23 million. The drug costs $3.5 million. For India, access to expensive drugs is piecemeal, unregulated and erratic, point out experts. Most of these expensive drugs to treat rare diseases are not manufactured in India. They are imported, that too on a need basis. For example, when a drug is prescribed by a doctor, the patient is connected to either an NGO that helps facilitate the process or other patients that need the drug. The end goal being a distributor will import the drug generally for a group of patients. Sometimes the innovator company's arm in India could have an access program. Majority of the times, the patient has to raise funds on their own unless they are a part of a charity program, say by the innovator company. Patients generally try to raise funds via crowdfunding and donations. This is piecemeal as patients don't always manage to raise funds. The other option is filing a PIL to try and have the government support the patient via its Rare Diseases Fund. While many of the times these options are effective, the process can run into months and many a times the administering of the drug is time sensitive. For example, infants diagnosed with SMA who have to get the drug as soon as possible. So what can be done? India is known as the pharmacy of the world because of its prowess to make generic copies of drugs. So why can't cheaper copies be made? In theory, yes, they can be, but lawyers say pharma companies want to stay clear due to the heavy patenting by the innovator company, hence possibility of litigation and the risk-reward considering low volumes make it unattractive. The issue, experts say, has to be taken up at a government level to improve accessibility and options to reduce pricing such as compulsory licensing, raising the government's fund for rare diseases and urging companies to even adopt patients via CSR programs. All this has to be considered on an urgent basis.